come with time, because when I was knocked back the first time, I probably still am, I'm a bit dramatic. And I was like, I'm never gonna get a job. Yeah. I'm an idiot. Like, no one's ever gonna want to hire me. But I think but again, it's always how you look at a situation. Yeah. So you can either cry and kick and have a tantrum about it, which is actually what I did originally, or you can take a deep breath and be like, okay, this is just a learning curve. Hopefully it's meant to be. I wasn't meant to do this job. And that, I mean, when you get out of uni, you don't know what you actually enjoy doing. So I guess you could consider it an opportunity to try something else. You just always have to stay positive, because as soon as you get into like negative thoughts, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. Whereas if you put a positive spin on it, you'll always gain something from it.
It's part of resilience, which again is a core part of our job because of the likelihood of that happening. I think the main thing is to learn. We here try and have a culture that making mistakes is normal. Learn from them rather than pointing a finger of blame. Work out what went wrong, how to avoid that next time. There is a way of avoiding making mistakes, and that's to do nothing, to say nothing, to be nothing, and never take any risks. But I'd suggest you're never going to make much progress if that's the approach. So overcoming risk aversion, experimenting, and being very self-aware about what did and didn't work. Part of that I've found as I've gone up the system is making sure you have confidants and mentors and colleagues who can be very junior in the organisation compared to where you are, who feel able to challenge you and feel licensed to tell you when you're screwing it up, and how to do it better next time. And I personally welcome that. I think it's indispensable, otherwise how are you going to improve?
I think there was a time where I'd have like a panic attack weekly. So I don't always cope very well, but I think I cope better now, and that's because, you know, you make plans and you plan in contingencies and you plan for like variables, and you go back to measuring impact of your previous actions. So if something happens unexpectedly, then you ask yourself, well, why might that have happened? And then you course correct. Yeah. So I feel, so I think if you're planning carefully enough, there's nothing to worry about at all.
Grit, real grit, I think, because you have to be able to, because things will go wrong a lot, especially when you're starting out, and you have to have the ability to, I mean, it sounds a bit cliche, but when something goes wrong, you have to be able to look at it as a learning experience. Because at the beginning, every time I got a rejection or a no, or a coaching experience didn't really turn out right, I'd be like, this is a reflection on me. This is, I'm not good at this anymore. This isn't right for me. But actually, because I get coached every week, and I brought it up with my coach, and it's about not connecting your self-worth to the actions that you're doing. So if you create that separation, you can look then at all of your failings, I don't like to call them failings, but more like challenges, as learning rather than a failure. So, and that's important, and to reflect, okay, so that didn't go well. Why didn't that go well? What did go well? And how could things be improved? I think that's the basis of grit and resilience, is to be able to look at failings as a learning and to be able to pick yourself up and move forward.
There have been some bad knockbacks, but I think, again, you just have to kind of, grumble a bit, do whatever it is you need to do, in my case whiskey, or some people just do something to kind of get over it, running, take a holiday, turn your mind to other things, and then just, try and start again, get back on that horse.
You learn so much from knockbacks. You learn sometimes more than you do from success. So listen and learn from your knockbacks. It was Kipling, was it not, that said, triumph and disaster, treat those imposters the same. So I think that's the advice. You can learn as much, if not more, from knockbacks. What have you learned about yourself? What went wrong? How did you deal with it? How can you learn from it to be stronger and prevent it happening next time? So don't brush them to one side. Don't feel embarrassed about them. Face them head on. Celebrate them.
Yeah.
Learn from them, and and turn a knockback into something very, very powerful and very, very positive.